Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century. God blessings, family, and welcome to another wonderful edition of The Art of This Stinks. This is Brother Ron of the We All Be movement. This 21st century news-free Dixie, y'all, because it's news-free Dixie for the 21st century. And I just want to give a quick shout out. This is my thoughts about the passing and the making of the new ancestors, Sister Erica Garner and also Sister REcy Taylor. These are some phenomenal black women, extraordinary people, everyday folk, but extraordinary nonetheless. And I just want to acknowledge their passing because all this stuff is going on with the Me Too movement and all these other things, all these other distractions. But I want to let you know that there are some hidden Me Too's. Like they talking about hidden figures last year, all that stuff, or the year before. Hidden Me Too's, okay? We got some hidden Me Too's. And majority of them are black women. A lot of them are black women. And I want to honor these sisters. We all know about Sister Erica Garner. She died way too young, at 27 years young. Really had the spirit of the fighting black women, of the ancestral, righteous ancestor women. People like the Fannie Lou Hamers, like the Mary McLeod Bethunes, like the Sister Ida B. Wells Barnett, these sisters who are about speaking truth to empower their people. She was right in there. She stood tall. She didn't sell out. You know, her body gave out though. I mean, because people got to understand is that the system killed Erica Garner like the system killed her father, the late Eric Garner. They are both casualties of this ongoing war. This system of white inferiority. I'm not going to call it white supremacy no more. It's white inferiority. Because if you are supreme, you don't need any man-made laws or set-asides to put you on top. If you're supreme, that's a gift from the Most High, from the universal God. And white supremacy does not exist in nature, so it's unnatural. It's man-made, it's artificial, it's fake, so it's white inferiority. See, the devil is not qualified to give us mercy. We beg the devil for mercy. All the devil can do is give you more hell. And it's hell for black folks in the struggle. For the woke black folk. For the black folks on the front line. And Sister Erica Garner caught her fair share of hell. She said, damn the hush money. I will speak my mind. I will let everybody know that all is not well. That something's very much rotten in Amsterdam. Not just in New Amsterdam, in New York. So she is a victim because police brutality does not only affect the person who is the victim of police brutality, but it has effects for generations. It's generational and familial trauma that we're dealing with. So it's systemic genocide. I remember I was at the down at 201 Poplar, the prison industry complex headquarters in Memphis, Tennessee. I was there with my cousin to take care of some legal business. And I saw this other brother. You could tell probably this brother was in the life, but also you could tell that he was harassed and targeted by the local MPD. He had his 3-year-old son who was anxious and nervous by his side. He told us that every time he got pulled over, that his son would cry and pee in his pants. His son, already at 3 years old, had the fear of the police. that every time his father got pulled over, because he saw how bad they mistreated his father, a man that he admired, that he loved, he broke out and cried and peed on himself. Automatically. So we're dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder or post-traumatic slavery syndrome, whatever you want to call it, but we still dealing as black folks. That's why I told a lot of black folks, I told my people, I'm leaving stress behind in 2017. I'm not letting stress take me out. Things that used to bother me ain't gonna bother me no more. I don't care if it's bill collectors, I don't care if it's family drama, you know, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because what do black folks got to show for our stress in this system? What do we got to show for it? Where is our generational wealth? Who are we? You know, what have we done to deserve this plight? I know people got answers out there, but I want people to reflect for themselves. Don't wait for somebody to tell you what's going on. Find out what's going on for yourself. Think, reflect, meditate. Think about these things. They'll tell you that Erica Gardner died from complications from having an enlarged heart, or from her recent pregnancy. She just gave birth. She got 2 beautiful children in the world without their mother. A mother who was a lioness, who was looking out for her family. Now that she was extraordinary. Well, I've seen in the clips of her. You can't teach that. That's something that was already in her. And she is now one of the righteous ancestors. But she was a victim of this white inferiority system, like her father was a victim. Like she said, the trauma of seeing her father die over and over again via the national media, via social media. It's like once you see that, you can't forget it. It's like when the first time I saw the photo of Emmett Till when I was less than 10 years old. Once I saw that photograph, it's embedded in my brain. So when I saw Rodney King, or when I seen this brother beat up recently, this young black boy beat up recently by the police, all I think about Emmett Till. How does this compare to Emmett Till? See all that trauma we dealing with, all that stress, all that anxiety. Like Baba Dick Gregory said, you have multiple degrees and millions of dollars in the bank, but you're still traumatized. You're still afraid when you see that police car pull up behind you and turn on its lights. You trembling at the wheel. A lot of us got that in us. And who to say you don't have a right to be afraid? Like Baba Dick said, niggas are afraid of bills. You know what I'm saying? So, but in spite of that, I don't know if the sister was afraid, but she acted in spite of her doubts and her fears. She believed that she was on the right side of history and on the right side of the ancestors, and she was. And the thing about Sister Erica Gardner, what happened to her, I feel, honestly, that she was just too real in a fake world. This world does not appreciate the real. They kill the real, and then they worship the real afterwards. It's like this mentality. I remember when this interview they did with B.B. King back in the 60s. They asked him about the Beatles, the British invasion, 64. Not the war of 1812, not the American Revolutionary War, but the 1964 Beatles, the Beatles invasion, okay? This is a year after the Kennedy assassination. And the Beatles were actually a psyops project. They were developed at the Tavistock Institute. Look all this up, MK Ultra. And their goal was to get the people's mind off the Kennedy assassination, the JFK assassination. Because a lot of Americans, even without social media, question the lone nut gunman theory. And there was a lot of questions. So to get their minds, like Judge Joe Brown always say, bread and circuses, let's bring in the Beatles. So getting back to B.B. King, he was asked his thoughts about the Beatles. He said that all they did was re-import the blues. All they did was re-import the blues. The reason why he said that, because he would let people know that, hey, back in the day, a lot of them, B.B. King, the Harlem Wolves, the Muddy Waters, the Willie Dixons, the Bo Diddleys used to go over to Britain. And they used to hang out at Piccadilly Square. And people like the John Lennons and the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and all them will come along and try to get lessons from these guys. They will share what they know about their music with these white boys. Little Richard talked about how when he came over for his European or British tour, he allowed the Beatles and Rolling Stones to open for him while he was on tour. You talk about, Otis Redding and Stax when had their historic European tour. They were amazed that they had this type of following over in Britain. Although back in the States, they wouldn't let Otis Redding's face on the album cover. They didn't want no black faces on the album cover of black music. See how messed up America is? So they emasculate the greats, they killed the greats, and then they worship them like this blood ritual sacrifices. So Erica Gardner, she just was too real for a fake world. And people will praise her now, but it was a lot of us were afraid to stand with her, which is out there calling like it is and telling it like it is in the words of Gil Noble. You recall Gil Noble, the great Gil Noble, our ancestor and black media pioneer. He talked about how he was so afraid to be in the same space as a Malcolm X. He had a lot of fear of Malcolm while Malcolm was alive. Even his white colleagues were intrigued and they wanted to hear Malcolm. But Gil Noble made it his job when Malcolm was walking in Harlem to stay away from Malcolm. Then once Malcolm passed, he realized that Malcolm wasn't who he thought he was, that he was so much more. And he dedicated his life and his career to exposing this system and telling it like it is, making it plain. So Sister Erica Gardner, she's in that tradition. She told it like it was. She didn't hold her words. She didn't pull no punches. I'm just sending prayers, positivity, thoughts, good vibes to her family. They have suffered so much. They are a family that is on the front lines. They have lost so much in a short period of time. And it's a damn shame that we are not as outraged as we should be. Because it's funny to me, not funny, haha, but in a sad way, that more people will get offended by curse words than by police brutality. You had more people probably offended by what Sister Erica Gardner was saying, because she had no filter. She gave no fucks about your feelings because she lost so much. But she was telling it like it was. And people are more concerned about her delivery, her attitude, her tone. But look what she lost. Even the brother who filmed the Eric Gardner state lynching, look what happened to him. And yet black folks, are you ready for some football? Okay. And REcy Taylor, Sister REcy Taylor, the ancestor. I want to tell a little bit about REcy Taylor because I think it's very important. I've been knowing about this story for several years. And it's something I'll never forget. You talking about some Me Too. People got white privilege thinking they've been abused. I'm going to tell you what abuse is. Systemic abuse. Real systemic abuse. September 3rd, 1944. Sister REcy Taylor, this beautiful black woman, 24 years old, walking home with her friend, who was 61, another female, and then her female friend's son, who was 18. They were walking home after a church service. Some good old boys in a pickup truck pulled up to them and told REcy Taylor to get in the truck at gunpoint. First, they drove around several times. And then they found the pullover, a pickup truck full of 7 good old boys, white boys, young white boys. Made REcy Taylor get in the truck at gunpoint, took her to a undisclosed location, and proceeded to gang rape her. This is September 3rd, 1944. She was gang raped by 6 white men. The white men were caught eventually, but you had 2 grand juries, one in October 4th to the 5th of 1944. The grand jury did not indict the white men, even though several of them admitted to raping REcy Taylor. 6 of them in all. It was 7, but one of the 7 did not rape her because he knew her. And my thing is, if you knew this sister, why you didn't stop your other rat bastards, associates from raping her? If you thought enough to not rape her, I don't know why he didn't rape her, but he said because he knew her. But why he didn't stop her? Because she said, she begged them, please don't rape me. I have a husband and a 3-year-old daughter. And it said, if you don't do what we tell you to do, you nigger wench, we're going to kill you. And so she did what she had to do to survive. And so you had 2 grand juries, one in October of 44, did not return an indictment. This is a grand jury full of white males, so they're not going to persecute or prosecute their own. Then you had one on Valentine's Day of 1945. All white male jury failed to return a verdict. And really, what's interesting about this is like the first time really Rosa Parks gets some type of national prominence. Because people always want to do that bullshit about Rosa Parks. She was just too tired. Her feet were swole. She just didn't feel like moving. Rosa Parks was a trained revolutionary. Her folks admired Marcus Garvey. She went to the Highlander School to learn about activism and organizing. So she was no novice to this, but she worked for the NAACP in Montgomery, went to Abbeville, Alabama, where this happened. Abbeville, Alabama. Excuse me, Abbeville, Alabama. She went there to investigate, and she started a national campaign to try to bring the evildoers to justice who raped Sister REcy Taylor, excuse me. But they were never brought to justice. I know several of them confessed they were never brought to justice. So this sister had to live with this shame for all her life, for decades and decades. She passed away last year, December 28th, 2017, just 3 days before her 98th birthday. So this sister had this traumatic thing happen to her at the age of 24, and she had to live for decades with this. And finally, the Alabama State Legislature, back in 2011, issued an apology to REcy Taylor for not doing all it could to give her some type of justice. Ain't that a damn shame? Ain't that a damn shame? Y'all talking about some Me Too black women been terrorized and taking advantage of this system for generations. You're talking about the father of gynecology, so-called Dr. Marion Sims, got a statue. You talking about Confederate statue? You got a statue up in Central Park, I believe. This guy mutilated black women bodies, and they call it science. These white men brutally raped this sister, this ancestor, REcy Taylor. And they said she wanted it. They called her a prostitute. This woman who was a wife, a mother of a 3-year-old daughter who's been taking care of her younger brothers and sisters since the age of 17. 1 of 7 children, taking care of her other brothers and sisters because her mama died when she was 17 years old. When REcy was 17 years old, her mother died. For 7 years, up to that point, she was taking care of her siblings. Responsible sister. Beautiful wife, caring mother, and she never got justice. But they got acknowledgement in 2011. The same state that fucked up the Scottsboro boys. A lot of y'all probably, who's the Scottsboro boys? That happened in Scottsboro, Alabama. 9 black boys got railroaded by the system based on the testimony of 2 white prostitutes. One of these guys had such a bad case of syphilis, it hurt for him to even move or piss or to itch. You know what I'm saying? So one of them finally admitted that they were not raped by these white black boys, but the damage was done. Look up the Scottsboro boys. By the way, the state of Alabama, they issued them a pardon, and I was there at the old courthouse in Scottsboro. I recorded that for posterity. The then governor of Alabama issued them a pardon. And I'm saying the damage already been done. Their families have been traumatized for generations. Look at what happened to all the Scottsboro boys. They led some very, very tragic lives. And all they was doing was trying to find work during the Great Depression, hoboing, riding the rails like so many people were doing back in the 1930s, Great Depression era, trying to find work to support themselves and their families. And they were railroaded by the white man system, by the white inferiority system. Me too, okay? Black men been taken advantage by the system. Black men broken, raped. Yeah, black men been raped. They've been raping black men as well as black women and black children for generations by any means necessary. So don't let's get this twisted. But REcy Taylor never got no justice. Can you imagine having that happen to you? Didn't have the media at the time, the white stream media, label you a prostitute, a hooker. No good. People don't understand the Montgomery bus boycotts was not just about buses. It was about protecting black women. You had black women being raped on the regular by white men in positions of power back in the 1950s in Alabama. Raped by bus drivers, raped by police officers, raped by other white men in positions of power and influence. And when black men came back home from the Korean War, from World War II, they said, hell no. I'm going to promote manhood and protect womanhood. You didn't hear nobody getting raped when they had the Montgomery bus boycott. They had that bus boycott for 381 straight days. They held it down, black folk. They selected. Dr. King didn't fought the sky like Terminator 1, but they can say, what's today's date? It's just laundry day? No, they selected Dr. King as the leader of the movement. The people did. The Montgomery Improvement Association, E.D. Nixon. All the black men and women back then. Rosa Parks. Like I said, she was no novice to the game. She helped organize the national campaign to get justice for REcy Taylor back in 1944. So she was ready 10 years later for the Montgomery bus boycott. So I just want to give a shout out to ancestors, Rosa Parks, REcy Taylor. And don't let these black women and black men, they trying to start this gender war. We need each other. The reason why the Montgomery bus boycott worked because you had black man, women, and child working together. We the real Trinity, y'all. The father, mother, and son. Black man, woman, and child. That's the real Trinity. So, God blesses Sister Erica Gardner. God blesses to Sister REcy Taylor and her family as well. If you like what you heard from Brother Heard, please spread the word. Promote this video. Promote the channel, We All Be TV. Promote our channel. Promote our content. Support the content. Become a patron at patreon.com/WeAllBe, or make a one-time or recurring donation at the PayPal link. Or you can send in check on money orders, or you can buy Artivist gear. Yeah, I did this shirt, Blood Brothers, in honor of Muhammad Ali, the greatest, and another GOAT, Malcolm X. I did this shirt, y'all. All this stuff is available at the links in this video and in the subscription box. Support the movement, creating books, creating art, creating propaganda to empower our people in 2018 and beyond. Truthful propaganda. So do yourselves a favor, look up REcy Taylor. There's a documentary called The Rape of REcy Taylor that just came out. I don't know what the distribution thing is like, but I'm looking forward to supporting it when it becomes widely available. Hope it'll get on Amazon Prime or something. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to seeing that documentary, which is 90 minutes long, which was done, and they included Sister REcy Taylor in the telling of her story. And we should never forget what they did to REcy Taylor. We should never forget what they did to Sister Erica Gardner. Both these women were violated by the system of white inferiority. Black man, woman, and child, when we work together in solidarity, there is nothing we cannot do for liberation. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. In the words of the great Duke Ellington, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing.